This is massive. Ripple news just keeps coming out, seems like every single day. The key to this, though, is to be stoic, to be calm, and to not be price sensitive. In today's video, I'm going to break down how Ripple news just keeps coming out. We knew when the SEC sued Ripple on December 20th, 2020, then Jay Clayton quickly left right after he initiated the case against Ripple to consult for a cryptocurrency firm that something fishy was going on. I always tell you, when they tell you to look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. And we told you by 2025, banks were going to custody your crypto. We told you that TradFi, traditional banking was going to become crypto banks, and crypto exchanges are going to become banks. And now here we are. So in today's video, we're going to cover the bullish Ripple news that's happening right now. I'm also going to share with you how to stay calm and how to stay stoic. And this is not your get rich quick channel. We are fully focused. We're fully locked in and building wealth for sure. We focus on 4 things on this channel. Cash flow. Cash is trash. We transmute our cash flow into deflationary assets that have fixed supply, which we believe are going to be the new monetary system. We learn how to protect our wealth, creating leverage components so we can leverage responsibly. Okay, not the type of leverage or credit that they teach Americans to get themselves in debt to make them poor. The type of leverage where you can create cash flow to make your family wealthy. So on the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. And I got a big warning for you on the back end of the video as well. All right, so let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is this is pretty cool. So Ripple posted this video, but I just want you to soak this up. It's about a 2-minute, 48-second video. This is the stuff that keeps me calm. This is the stuff that keeps me stoic. This is the stuff that kept me in the game since 20. I knew right when I got introduced to XRP, I came from the banking system. As soon as I got introduced to XRP, it flipped me from cryptocurrencies of fraud to understanding that there's something back then. Now I had to use my own discernment that something radical is transforming. It got me out of the emotion of it. And I'm like, this has to change. So I want you to understand that everything is going to be tokenized. And when you're investing in these asset classes, I want you to think differently. You're investing in the new infrastructure of the financial system. Check this out.
It is fascinating how cyclical and wave-like markets can be. I've sailed competitively my whole life. Sailing builds mental toughness in responding to the changing tides. Building in crypto, that's like a really important mentality to have. I'm Nathan Allman. I'm the founder and CEO of Ondo Finance. When we think about Wall Street 2.0, it's really about combining the best of traditional finance with the best of decentralized finance and public blockchains. With decentralized finance, when you have this sort of one-click sign-in to different financial applications, frankly, for me, it was like a pretty magical experience to be able to self-custody all of my assets and then with a single click, take out a loan from one protocol and then trade from another protocol. Ultimately, that unlocks more choice and more competition. And that's in such huge contrast to how things work in TradFi, where if you want to move your securities from one broker-dealer to another, it's a multi-day, multi-week process. At Ondo, we started out by building tokenized treasuries. In order to build institutional grade products like OUSG, we really need to work with partners that have a focus on institutional grade standards and 24/7 instant convertibility. So we're really excited to finally be able to bring OUSG to XRP Ledger, the decentralized public blockchain, to continue to build institutional grade cash products alongside Ripple. That's something that a lot of our institutional clients have been really drawn to. It's about routing capital and assets to make a financial system that is ultimately faster, fairer, and more accessible to everyone. Tokenization is not just a pilot or a stepping stone, but actually has real commercial utility today. And we've seen that in the numbers, 200 billion plus in stablecoins, 5 billion plus in tokenized treasuries. And our offerings now between OUSG and RLUSD are used every day, constantly in production. We have real investors instantly minting and redeeming, in many cases, tens of millions of dollars at a single point in time. And this is that watershed inflection point moment.
Watershed inflection moment. Take a moment just to soak this up, guys. This is what helps me remain calm and stoic. I am not price sensitive. If it goes down, I buy more. If it radically goes up on the back end of this year, I'm going to take a little bit off the top. There's no emotion in this, except the fact that I know that I've made the right decisions for myself personally and my family and our future by not getting wrecked, knowing the markets are just emotion. It's these facts, figures, numbers, logic that keep me grounded, that keep me stoic, that keep me calm. The understanding that the system has to change. This is not a conspiracy. This is a rewiring of your TradFi traditional financial system. The future takes a concrete steps towards today. Ondo Finance, Ondo short-term U.S. government treasuries, OUSG, is now live on XRPL. This is a milestone that expands institutional access to one of the most credible institutional-grade real-world asset on-chain, accessible via seamless minting and redemptions with Ripple's enterprise-grade stablecoin RLUSD. And then this just came out this morning. Latest, Japan's 214 billion SBI Holdings has filed to launch a BTC and XRP ETF. Bitcoin, XRP, and Solana are my top 3 holdings, okay? I'm telling you, for me, that is the future of my family. XRP is my biggest holding by a long shot. Bitcoin's number 2 in Solana. I am not trying to go in all these different cryptos. Like I talk about my top 6. It's XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, XLM, HBAR, and VeChain. Okay. I don't need to buy every single token that comes out every 5 seconds chasing this stuff. Fundamental, long-term, infrastructural change. Okay. Understanding how to compound, leverage, and multiply your wealth is the key to all this. So more news came out yesterday. GBBC member at Ripple has partnered with UAE-based CTRL Alt, to assist with Dubai Land Department's real estate tokenized project. You're just going to see a ton of this, guys. A ton of this. The partnership at Control Alt using did I really spell that out? I love my dyslexia. Using Ripple's institutional grade digital asset custody technology to support Dubai's Land Department DLD, pioneering real estate tokenization project by delivering scalable and secured storage for Dubai's tokenized real estate title deeds, which are being issued on XRP Ledger. Okay, so this is coming up here. August 4th, this came out. This is a Commodities and Future Trading Commission acting chairman, Caroline D. Pham, announced today the CFTC will launch an initiative for trading spot crypto asset contracts that are listed on the CFTC Registers Futures Exchange. So what does that mean? So what is coming up here, let me show this with you guys. There's all kinds of stuff happening. The American Leadership in Digital Financial Revolution. Okay, this means federal legitimacy of spot crypto trading and infrastructure. Okay. Clear separation of securities versus commodities. The SEC handles security tokens. The CFTC handles commodity tokens. So the CFTC will be handling things. This is to give clear separation. Okay, this is what the conversation's about. CFTC would handle commodities. This is huge, guys. It's a commodity. BTC, things like ETH and XRP. The SEC would handle securities tokens. Now, the difference is a security. If I'm buying a token and I have access to the company or I have shares in the company, like, for example, if I buy a dividend and I have access to MicroStrategies, right? I own, that's a stock, that's a security. I own part in the company. XRP can operate separate from Ripple, the company. Okay. So these are huge, huge catalysts coming. Now, I want to just share this with you guys right here. What is the macro hedge here? What is the protection? So there's a debt explosion happening right now. And this is a reason why these big asset managers and the reason why billionaires are moving towards Bitcoin.
When the market became aware that here was a big, beautiful bill passed, it had a 5 trillion debt ceiling increase. And the first number that came out was literally a $380 billion increase on the first day and another $30 billion increase. So over 2 days, there was $410 billion already increased. And so far, we actually 700, and something $billion increase. So we already 14% into this debt ceiling factor. And I think if the market becomes more and more focused on that number, that really there's a total debt explosion happening right now. That's going to be where the market is going to look at, okay, what's our macro hedge here? What's our protection? Because it cannot be really the US dollar. It cannot be really like foreign currencies because, they have not a lot of growth. So there are not many hedges. Gold can be a hedge, but I think Bitcoin can be also a primary hedge when the market starts to focus more on the debt ceiling issue or the debt increase issue versus, for example, the labor market, right?
Okay. So big money is moving into Bitcoin, right? As a hedge against the US dollar's inflation. Okay. Again, we're trying to get these interest rates to come down. They are, I don't know. I would love to hear your guys' comments down below. Do you think Jerome Powell is going to lower interest rates in September? That'll be really interesting. So I feel like he's going to. Kevin O'Leary came on and said he doesn't believe any rates will come down. Now, what Kevin O'Leary said was he's like, invest as if they're not going to go down. Okay. I don't focus on what I think is going to happen. I focus on what is happening. I don't wait for XRP to go to a certain price. And that's exactly why I want to show these damn scammers out there. So just so you guys know, somebody commented on one of my videos like, oh, doesn't this bother you? Hell yeah, Buzz. We're actually spending thousands of dollars. We have a team now hired for thousands of dollars working to take these down. It is wild. There's thousands of scam accounts. So Coach JB _ are my only accounts. Okay. I have one Twitter. I have one business Facebook, one personal Facebook, one TikTok, one Instagram. It's all Coach JB _ okay. This is not me, guys. I don't do price predictions. Okay. These are scams. I don't do Telegram. I don't do WhatsApp. And there'll even be scammers down here commenting. We can't even keep up with it. And when you report them, they say that they're not doing anything wrong. It's wild. Okay. So we've actually brought on a team to help us with this. And we're spending a lot of resources and time to combat this. Okay. We're doing the best we can, but be very careful. The best we can do is keep you informed. I will not Telegram you. That's not me talking to you on Telegram, WhatsApp. They're using AI technology. That is not us. Okay. So here's a clear picture of the markets right now. Right now, Bitcoin's at 113,000, ETH at 3,500, XRP at $2.95. Now, why do I say so stoic and calm? And why do I love when the price comes down? Because I know what I hold, guys. There's no one that can convince me that my plan is not going to work because it's worked. From 2020 to 2025, I can only go based on my personal experience. And that's why I only speak from personal paradigm. I don't go on hype. I don't go on what other people are doing. I go based on what I'm actually doing and what actually worked for me. So I focus on 4 things. Okay. Cash flow. I believe cash is trash. That's what I believe. Okay. I don't want to invest in something that's gone down, or store my wealth in something that's gone down almost 99% since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. Okay. Purchasing power is getting sucked out of the US dollar. So what I do is I study billionaires, what they're doing. They're hedging their money in things like Bitcoin, gold. They're moving towards deflationary assets that have fixed supplies. That's why Bitcoin has become so popular for the elites. Okay. So I use Bitcoin and XRP as I consider them both deflationary. Why is XRP deflationary? Because it has a fixed supply. So does Bitcoin. Every time a transaction runs across it, it burns. Okay. So it's actually has a ton of supply because of its utility, but it also has a deflationary mechanism. So it's opposite of the inflationary dollar. Okay. So I focus on cash flow. I transmute cash flow into 2 different things: cash generating dividends. Okay, there's all kinds of dividends you can get into. There's super high risk, like options. You can get ETF options dividends that are super high risk that I de-risk out of. There's things like MicroStrategies is launching a guaranteed 10% off of his Bitcoin strategies. You have Apple. You have Coca-Cola, like Warren Buffett, he collects dividends. Okay. So I use my cash. I own 6 companies. I don't want to continue to open companies. I want passive income, true passive income. Because passive income is, and that's what I'm getting obsessed with, is transmuting, okay, my cash flow into deflationary assets, and 10% of it goes into dividend ETFs and dividends that pay me cash flow. Okay. So now I have two components coming in. I have my businesses that I created through price appreciation. I have my cash flow coming in, and that transmutes every single month into deflationary assets, Bitcoin XRP, okay, into a Solana every single month. I dollar cost average. And then I also pump money into my premiums every single month. Then the bull market hits. Okay. So then when we have price appreciation, I'm the co-founder and creator of Merlin. Okay. This is a interface. This is not an exchange. You don't trade on here. This is just an interface. This is how I keep myself safe too. I do not pull up my Coinbase, my Kraken, any of those things when I'm traveling. I use Merlin. It has all my cryptos in one place. Okay. It's an interface. It shows my exchanges. It shows my crypto. It shows the markets. This is our demo account. It shows you all these things. And boom, I don't even have to stare at the markets. I have exit plans set up in here. Merlin sends me an alert when it's time to exit. Hey, you're 10% away from your first target of blah, blah, blah. And I go and I calmly exit. I stay stoic. So when the markets go up, I calmly exit. Bitcoin, remember, we're not selling. If you watch my channel, that is a leverage, which I'll go into in just a moment. So I go in here, I calmly exit. So you can get 30 days for free to try it if you want to set up, learn how to set up an exit plan. We show you exactly how to do it. Then if you get stuck, boom, you'll see it pop up in just a moment. Boom. We have the best customer service. We actually have physical customer service that actually answers phone calls. We are an old school type company. We believe in customer service as our number one focus. We will help you set up an exit plan. We will teach you how to get all your assets on here. To be very clear, this is just an interface. So if you're at a hotel, you're on Wi-Fi and somebody hacks your Merlin, it's information. There's no crypto. There's nothing transferring back and forth. Does that make sense? It's an interface that pulls everything into one place. So when I'm traveling and I'm outside my protected Wi-Fis, that's what I use as Merlin. So I use it for three reasons. I use it for protection of my assets so I don't get hacked and click on any malware, right? It doesn't matter if they get into my Merlin. Number two is I have a beautiful exit strategy. Number three, I can see all my crypto in one place. I stay organized and it keeps me calm. I don't have to sit there and watch the markets and go back and forth in between all my exchanges. So Merlin, smartest way to track your crypto. I am the co-founder and creator of that. I want to be very clear. We built that from the ground up. And in my social media platform, you can click the link or down below, get in there, get organized, and we can help you set up an exit plan. Okay, so let's talk about why I do what I do. I think that's more important. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm only telling you why I do what I do. Okay, so since I've studied so much on inflationary US dollar, and let me be very clear though. Let's be very clear. The dollar's not going to collapse. Okay. Now, I'm talking out of two sides of my ass right now. When we were in the last presidency, it felt like the sky was falling. I'll be honest with you. I was stacking more silver. It felt like the dollar was going to collapse, right? And I do believe if we wouldn't have got cryptocurrency on board, if the Genius Act didn't get passed and we got a stable coin in place, Genius Act, hence the Genius Act, right, to stabilize the US dollar, that was one of the craziest, most chess playing moves that America could have ever done. This is all strategy, guys. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is strategy. The Trump family came in. They are pumping their bags. This is not a game. They've warned you over and over again. In the last 18 months, they've made $600 million. That's almost $1 billion in wealth off of just cryptocurrency. In 24 months, I believe their crypto profits will be more than their whole legacy of hotels and real estate. Wake up. Wake up. Okay. They're transitioning to deflationary assets. The Genius Act, Stablecoin Act was genius. It is going to make America's dollar even more dominant. It's going to stabilize the US economy, make the American dollar a stable dollar. Okay. It's going to be fair, equitable, and fair. It's on a blockchain. They're going to tokenize all the treasuries, stabilize the US economy, and he is going to make America the crypto capital of the world. But here's the thing. Is that all these influencers are selling you that XRP is going to 10K, it's going to this, it's going to this, and you're waiting for your $500 to become $20 million. That's not how it works. Okay, it's not how it works. And if it does, fantastic. You got really, really lucky, but I'll tell you what, you're gonna lose it all. Because if you don't rewire the foundation, you're gonna end up in the exact same situation. Because if you're thinking that $500 or $1,000 is going to make you a multimillionaire in the next 6 months, and you do, and you don't understand how to build wealth, how to maintain it, how to compound it, how to grow it, how to create cash flow, and understand the inflationary dollar, you're going to buy a bunch of stuff, and you're going to end up in the exact same situation. So we're here to rewire the foundation. Okay, remember, cash flow. Cash is not king unless it's moving. So I'm not going to store a bunch of my cash in something that continues to inflate when they lower interest rates and print more money. They're already starting to print money for the big, better bill. Okay. I transition outside of debts and non-negotiables. I use a bank account. I buy, debts and non-negotiable. I'm not against a bank account. I pay my employees. We have multiple businesses. We have cash in our bank accounts. We have businesses to run, right? But outside of my debts and non-negotiables, and I run lean and mean, baby. I run lean and mean with my lifestyle. Okay. Because I'm more about freedom, financial freedom. All the fun stuff is coming, guys. It's coming. Now, we're right there. We're right there. The wake boat is coming. By the way, that wasn't my wake boat. All the people, thank you for all the kind words. That's Johnny Crypto's wake boat. Next best thing is having a friend with a boat. So that was Johnny Crypto's boat, and I stole it and I was borrowing it. But and we were having fun together. Okay, I digress. Okay, so I focus on cash flow. When I create cash flow outside of debts non-negotiables, I put it into cash generating dividends. Okay, 10% of it goes into there. The rest of it goes on the sidelines waiting for these dips. Hell yeah, I'm buying in right now. People are like, are you buying XRP at $2.95? Yes. Are you buying it at $3.40? Yes. I buy it every single day, and I put money on the sidelines for these types of dips. I'm buying the bottom of the future top. Just my opinion. You do what you want to do, but I'm buying the bottom of the future top. I did the exact same thing from 2020 to 2025. Everybody's like, you're buying Bitcoin at 25K? Yes. And now it's at 114K. Or you're buying Bitcoin at 114K? Yes. And it'll be at 1.2 million in the next 6 years. And they're gonna be like, you're buying Bitcoin at 1.2 million? Yes. It's deflationary. Absolutely. Would I rather store $10,000 in my bank account that they're using to make interest, my money, or would I take my 10,000 and transition to something that could grow 50% every year that I could use, borrow against, to buy more cash flow, just like they're doing, or I could use to lend out to somebody else in DeFi, or I could use to stake to make interest income. TradFi, traditional banking, is becoming DeFi. DeFi is becoming traditional banking. You will be the bank. And the person who owns the gold used to run the world. Now the people own the Bitcoin and XRP, in my opinion, will be the ones that run the world. They will be saying things like this. Oh, you're one of those crypto families. Just like they say the oil families, just like they say the real estate family. But there is no get rich quick. There's getting wealthy for sure by rewiring the foundation to end up in a different situation. Number one, you got to draw a line in the sand. You got to draw a line in the sand and become the generational shifter. Number two is you have to be more committed to the pain of change than staying the same. Number three is you have to do everything you can to rewire that brain. And then after you do that, you have to put the blinders on and get focused. God, number one, honor God in everything you do. Number two, it's family. Okay. My family knows God is number one. Then it's family next. There's nobody that's going to disrupt my peace, freedom, or family structure. No business deal, no person, no place, no thing. And in my business, it's integrity, honesty, uncompromising belief in God. Next is ecosystem. My decisions, my behaviors, my actions are extremely important for me to protect my ecosystem. And lastly, this is why I don't respond to haters. I even give anybody any energy outside of my family and ecosystem, is because you got to stay out of other men and women's business. I'm too busy working on mine. So if you're sitting there trolling other people and you're focused on all these different things and you're constantly emotional, that means you're not focused. Get focused. At a household, get focused. Get your shit together. We got to do this, guys. This is a very critical time right now. So if you've made it this far, get out of the emotion, guys. This shit's going to go up. It's going to go down. Everybody's going to tell you it's going to 10K in 2 months, and they're going to tell you it's going to this, and then they'll come up with another excuse of why it didn't go to $10 or $15. That's not how investing is done. You build a plan, you stick to it. You build an exit plan if you choose to exit. If you don't choose to exit, you learn how to leverage it. Okay. If you believe in what you're invested in, when it goes down, buy more. When it goes up, if you choose to exit, make sure you're doing something with that money. And build your own plan and stick to it. Don't listen to 50 different people. Trust your own discernment. Trust your own judgment. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, rise. Get your shit together. God bless you.